The typical British person will take around about 2 weeks off during the summertime. And those 2 weeks will be for a continuous period of time. What does a typical British person do on holiday? It's quite a difficult question to answer, and it very much depends upon the age group of the person. But just talking in general and comparing it to Asia, in general, British people, regardless of how old they are, British people like to relax on holiday. And people like to maybe go to the beach, lie on the beach, relax all day. They may spend some time in the bar and the clubs if they're a bit younger in the evening. They may enjoy doing some swimming and some water sports. If they're older people, maybe they might like to go walking. They take their families to various activity centers and things. But generally speaking, there is a little bit of activity mixed in there, obviously. But generally speaking, people like to relax. They like to do virtually nothing at all. They like to completely and utterly unwind. And that is quite different to how things play out in Asia. So when I was living in Hong Kong, and I'm not saying that Hong Kong is representative of the whole of Asia, but my experience in Hong Kong was that generally speaking, most people would get 5 continuous days holiday during the summertime. Sometimes not even that, but generally speaking, people get 5 days holiday during the summertime. And because there's a difference in timing between the East and the West, the way in which the holiday was structured was completely different. So if holiday is all about relaxation in the West, in the UK, then holiday was all about activity and experience in Asia and in Hong Kong. So, for example, there was one occasion when I was living in Hong Kong and I went on holiday to Beijing and we went on this bus tour. And off we went. And from first thing in the morning, literally 6 o'clock in the morning, we were sort of people were knocking on the door and getting us to go for breakfast. We all ate together in a big group. And we started at 6 o'clock in the morning. The bus took us from one location to another, to another, to another. We got out at souvenir shops. We took photographs. We experienced the food. And that's the word. We just experienced everything in a very short space of time. I found this quite difficult to deal with. I remember thinking to myself that the holidays here in Asia are not really a holiday at all. And I remember thinking after 1 or 2 days of the holiday that I was on, the coach tour that I was on in Beijing, thinking to myself that I was absolutely exhausted and I would really need to have a holiday when I got back to work to relax, to get over the holiday which I had had in Beijing. And that, I think, is the big difference between the holidays in the UK and the holidays in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, it's all about a short, impactful break. I use the word break very cautiously. The emphasis is on packing in as much as possible, seeing as much, eating as much, taking as many photographs as possible, and really saying that you've been somewhere and that you've done it and you've possibly ticked it off a list. And maybe the next time you'll move on to something else. In the UK, it is literally about unwinding and relaxing, probably because we've got a lot more time to do that. So we will go to the beach, we will lie on the beach, and literally we will just completely chill out. We won't do anything at all. So if you are going to live and work in Asia, just be mindful of the holiday difference. If you are coming to work in the UK or live in the UK, just be mindful that we do things a little bit differently here in terms of having a holiday.